Nolan King here for MMA Today in Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm joined by UFC featherweight Brandon Davis. Brandon, thanks for joining me here. Your first fight week. I really appreciate you taking the time out. How does it feel to hear those words, UFC featherweight Brandon Davis?
Man, it's what I've been working towards for 7.5 years, so it feels really good.
It's amazing, and the last time I interviewed you was before the Contender Series. To hear your journey was pretty amazing, and your aspirations, and then you go on the show. You have the fight of the season against Austin Arnett. You win the bout, get the contract. That must have felt pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's 100 people on there this season, and only so many got picked. But that's just my fighting style. So, like I said, there's no added pressure. Then it's just go out there and fight, and all I have to do is make sure that I win. And usually, when I win, it's a good show. So.
Absolutely. And then you've been healthy for some time. You've been waiting. You finally get the call to fight in Boston against Kyle Bochniak. What were your feelings on that?
I was wondering why they were making me wait so long. Jason fought 3 days before me and found out his was getting a fight like a month before me or 2 months. I was like, man, what's going on? And Sean Shelby just kept telling Alan that he had something set up for me. And then when I found out it was this card, I was like, oh, man, now I'm not even mad that I waited. But it's still a lot longer than what I'm used to. So I'm used to fighting like every month at the minimum, every month if I can, every 2 months at the max. So it's weird having to wait 5 months to get another fight.
Absolutely, and when the bout first got announced, I talked to you briefly, and you said that you were hoping to get on like the Fight Pass headliner or something, and now you're actually the FS1 headliner. So that they're throwing you right in here, man. There's no softballs for the Contender Series signee.
Yeah. I was expecting. I didn't know how they're gonna do the Contender people. I guess they're trying to build them up, and since everybody watched them before, they're trying to make a name off of them or trying to get them to make a name for themselves. So I wasn't expecting to be the headliner on the FS1 card for sure, because everybody else that had fought in the Contender Series has been on the FS1 card. Before that, I thought we might be like the headliner on the Fight Pass, but whenever I found out this, and they kept it up there, and me in that same spot, and I was like, man, there's no way they're going to keep it right there. They're going to change it. But then when they finally announced it, I was like, man, that's sick. And then I saw the commercial the other day when I was watching the Fight Night card. Got me pretty pumped.
You made it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And it's cool. You're here. You've lived out a dream, but I'm sure that another dream that you're having is to get a UFC win.
Oh,
so this Saturday night you're fighting Kyle Bochniak, a 3-fight UFC veteran, a local guy. What are your thoughts on coming to his backyard to fight?
Man, I really wouldn't want it any other way. I like it to be like that. I want to hear all the boos. I want it to be as hostile an environment as it can be for me. I don't know. I want him to feel like he's where he needs to be, and everything's going his way, and everything's good for him. And then when we get in there, he's at his best, and we can see what he's got.
Absolutely, and the matchup that he presents to you, what are your thoughts on him as an opponent and the style matchup? And do you think it's a good fight for you?
Of course he's good. If you're in the UFC, you're going to be good. There's no scrubs in the UFC, but I don't see him being that much of a threat in most of the places. This is his last fight on his contract, and he's 1-2, so I believe he has 2 ways he can come out there and try to put on a great show and then hopefully get a knockout. I feel like that's the only way he can beat me. He does have a hard right hand. And that way he'll get re-signed. If he comes out there and just tries to hold me or do something, they're not going to re-sign him even if he wins, but I'm not going to let him hold me down or hold me against the cage or anything like that. So he has to come out and try to put on a good performance to get re-signed. So I feel like it'd be a fight everybody wants to watch for sure.
That was my next question. I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he said that he was hoping that you'd come and bring that same style that you brought last time, stand and bang. You think we got another fight of the night contender here?
Oh, yes. I mean, like I was telling people before, every fight that I've ever fought since since my last 3 amateur fights, I've gotten fight of the night or performance of the night, submission of the night, knockout of the night. Except for one, I finished the guy in 42 seconds, so they didn't give me anything for that one. But so that's just my fighting style, and he might say that, but he might change his mind after we get in there and he takes some licks and that pressure's just coming at him. I think he's going to try to change it up, go for the takedown. But I'm going to be ready for that too. But I hope he does come out there and do it like he said. I mean, that's what everybody wants to see, and whoever's better is going to win.
Absolutely. How's the cut going so far? Pretty good?
Oh, yeah, really good. Last fight, I messed up a little bit. I was more trying to help Jason for his fight when he was fighting Lamas, and so I was focused on that, so I wasn't really watching my weight too much. So I had to cut 21 pounds in 3 days, so it wasn't fun. Right now, I believe I'm about 7 pounds out, and I just ate breakfast and everything, so I'm feeling great.
Yeah, we're Wednesday here, so that's pretty good place to be. So you mentioned Jason. Is he going to be up here for the fight? Any who's cornering you for this one?
Jason's not going to be able to make it. He didn't get anybody to watch his son for him or his kids, so he couldn't come up here. He was wanting to, but we did talk on the phone the other night, and he was telling me about how I need to go about everything, or how he went about it his first fight and what it might go through my mind and everything. And so we talked about that. It was a good talk. And then I talked to Chase the other day as well, Chase Sherman. But as far as corner me, I have my buddy Tyler Hill. He's been training with me since pretty much I started 7 years ago. And he's usually hold pads for me, and we work as each other's striking coach. And then I have James Sharp and Alan Belcher as my other two corners.
Alan Belcher, UFC vet, your manager. What's it like to be able to fight under him? I'm sure he gives you a lot of professional advice, a lot of just advice in general, and with martial arts. What are your thoughts on him and what he's brought to your career?
Oh yeah, he changed up a lot of stuff. Whenever I moved down there, he's one that pretty much gave me the opportunity to be able to be in the UFC. He had the contact with Sean Shelby, so after I continued to win and beat some undefeated people and beat some other guys, he was able to get me onto the Contender Series and give me the opportunity. And even sparring and training with him, that dude's still good enough to be in here fighting. We always tell him he needs to try to come back and fight at 205 because when him and Chase go at it, it's a banger. So he needs to come back and fight one more time.
There, you heard it right here. Do you have any friends, family coming up for this one?
Oh man, I literally have like 50 people coming up here, which is actually kind of crazy because, you got to buy a plane ticket, you got to get a hotel, you got to get your fight ticket. That's easily thousands of dollars between each person or family coming in. So I was surprised that many people were coming in to support me, and you'll see them all with Killer B shirts on. So look for them in the crowd.
That's awesome. And the most pressing question I'm probably going to ask you here: what happened to the Steelers, man?
I don't want to talk about it.
Because that would have lined up perfectly. They would have been playing in New England tomorrow or Sunday, the day after your fight.
I'll tell you what my plan was. My plan was, and I had all my Steelers stuff on, and I was rooting for them. And man, I guess they overlooked them. We're looking towards the Patriots again, but I was gonna go up on stage after I got done with my weigh-ins, and before Kyle walked up there, and you shake Dana's hand and everything, and I was gonna say, "All right, Dana, now when I go out here and put on the show, you got to get me some tickets to this AFC Championship game." And he'd be like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a handful.
But that didn't happen, so I doubt I even ask him for the tickets now. But if he still wants to take me, I'm down to go.
Yeah, you heard it. Just a couple more questions before I let you go. I appreciate your time. Do you have any type of final prediction for this bout? I know some fighters like to do that, others don't. Either way, I'm cool with it.
My stuff usually stays the same. We have, it's pretty much 3 ways that it can go. If he tries to be boring, and if he was able to just hold me down, it'd be a boring fight, and it'd be a 3-round fight, no damage really. But I don't foresee that. I don't think he can hold me down, and I don't think he can hold me against a cage. So I don't foresee that one really happening. The other one is he comes out, and he's tough as hell, so he's never been finished. So we go out there, I'm hitting him, he's hitting me. The best man wins, and then everybody enjoys it, and it goes all 3 rounds. Or I come out there and I knock him out in the end of the first, middle of the second. I can kind of see that happening.
Great. Last question. 2018's here. 2017 was pretty good to you, it seems. What does 2018 have in store for Brandon Davis?
Hopefully 4 fights and 4 wins minimum. So I'm trying to get out there as much as I can, beat everybody as fast as I can, and get to the top 15 as fast as I can.
Awesome. And there he is, Brandon Davis. Brandon will be taking on Kyle Bochniak as the FS1 headliner, UFC 220 this Saturday night at the Garden in Boston. And Brandon, thanks so much for joining me, man. I know you're busy with fight week, your first fight week ever, and appreciate you taking the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.